we became each other's sounding board. He would ask me certain things and I would tell him. It doesn't mean he will like, but I'll just give him my view. But vice versa, I'll ask him certain things for advice, and have come to really trust Peter over the years. First of all, his quality of judgment and his quality of analysis and strategic view is very high. So sometimes he would say, even in very few words, Ben, I think if you look at it this way, this one will go well. And I'm like, that is it. Great. Thank you very much. And pick on that. So we have become natural mentors to each other, natural coaches to each other, trusting each other. I know very, very well if I want to really get to know and have a feel of something, and I need to consult somebody, even if it is once in a while, then it is Peter. And I'll ask Peter, what do you think about this? There's no time I doubt that. And we have become successful and run successful businesses because of that advice. So trust comes in as a very big part of it. I think we have similar backgrounds without knowing, by the way. I was making fun of our primary school. His primary school, he said it's called Mine is called Chaplelashbe. It actually means a place of white waters. When people try to pronounce, they can't get the name. So I just say, okay, don't bother, but it's some nice place in Nandi. But then he talked about humility, integrity, and all of that. We share a lot of things in common, and our families do the same.
So when I went to Nigeria, and I had never met Ben. Of course, I had heard about Ben. But it's amazing when you are faced with the same mission and challenges, how you connect. And then Ben is right. Our value set is similar, backgrounds are similar, without knowing. And I still remember, because I was doing quite a lot of work at the beginning when I went into Nigeria, and I asked Ben a few questions and advice. And I still remember, I don't know if you remember, Ben, there was a big conversation I was having about supply chain, and he said to me something which I can't say on camera, but basically he said to me, you need to watch out for this. And it was very true. And I think it's very difficult for CEOs to find individuals who will tell them the real truth about what is happening, either in organizations or in environments. Then fast forward a bit later, when Ben was now transitioning careers, and Ben talked about trust. And it's amazing just how mutually you can support each other on choices, careers. When I was appointed at Safaricom, I called Ben and so on. And when he was appointed in Unilever and so on, so he called me. And even when he went to sell milk, he called me.
Yeah.
So it's amazing just how you can get a lifelong sounding board, but trusted one. Not many people you can trust at the senior level because you're not sure. But it's been a fantastic relationship.
Let me add one thing on that trust, and you can choose whether to publicize it or not. But when it comes to even talent, we have also become sounding boards of each other. So he gets names, and he knows that I know about it.
Yeah.
He will say, Ben, can I check something with you?
Yeah.
This, what do you think? And there are many people he has hired because he's reached out to me and I gave a trust. And vice versa, there are also people I've hired because Peter has told me, hey, if you get that one, you are really on the spot. The same thing also when you talk about importance of having a good name and a good career. There are also people that he has reached out to me and I've said, Peter, that has been in my hands. I can't let you. If you want to, I can't stop you, but I will just put one word for you. Just watch out. And he will decide what he wants to do. So it goes beyond that. The trust really even impacts the ecosystem you build.
I think that the thing is you get to a place as a CEO and you realize that you do have P&L accountability, but that will, however many billions you deliver, will not be remembered unless you change society. So for me, it's about legacy and about ensuring that you go for something beyond profitability. So I know Safaricom has been known for driving purpose and so on and so forth, but it's also about personal leadership. It's about what we stand for, but also about being committed to something that works for society. So I remember I attended a leadership forum when I used to be in Diageo, and it talks about leadership in 4 things. Leadership as self, so how you lead yourself. Leadership in relationship, so the relationships you have. Leadership at a corporate level, and leadership in society. And for me, there is nothing that brings to life more than leading at a society level. So that's what I love most about leading for Safaricom.
If there's one thing that I would say keeps me really focused, it's purpose. And there will be many conversations I have with my team, even during town halls, that I say, when the going gets tough, or when you really feel that there are so many things that are bothering you about what you do, just always remember one thing: the purpose of why you are here. When you do that, your energy levels come back. If I give you some examples, when I was in the dairy business that we talked about, I was there for 7 years. It was also during that period that COVID was there. The world was really, really difficult. When you are in dairy, especially like the one I was in, you are not just in the milk that you know, you are in infant nutrition, which is very important. Nigeria had 7 million children, Nigeria alone, let alone sub-Saharan Africa, 7 million children. You are in infant nutrition and all of that. When things were very tough with logistics, with Forex and the others, I always reminded myself, there are 7 million children, or whatever number that consume our products. There are so many people that need nutrition at this difficult time that I need to go and sort them out. That time, nothing else comes to my mind. I get out of my house and I go and do what needs to be done. Same with what we do now. You know, the brands we have, whether it is oral care or skin care and all of that, it gives good life, it gives confidence, it meets everyday needs of our consumers. And I wasn't joking when I told Peter, give us the airtime, but we'll make you look good. Because actually that's what we do.
Yeah.
You're healthy, good, and feeling of that. So it actually brings back a reserve of energy and keeps you grounded that I'm in this world because I need to do this, and it keeps you focused. I think organizations got into structures, org structures, that sometimes are really not serving the purpose fully. In other words, there are walls that should not exist. So that's why silos become created in organizations. It's like how countries were formed. Sometimes you say, why was this country formed and why is it not one with the other? And if they were together, probably they would have done better together. Agile gives the flexibility to go and see what is on the other side of the world and influence it and do things on what is not traditionally your own. So for me, from when I found last year, when I came back and made even some adjustments last year to keep them less and more focused, it's a real source of winning battles and eventually winning the war, because you focus on something that you bring different sets of skills and experiences into what you are good at, rather than sticking with what your traditional org structure is. So it gives a boundaryless organization and gives formality to what would otherwise not have been formal.
Living the spirit of the word agile is beneficial to individuals, to corporates, and to industry. I suppose agile has primarily been used, or at least initially been used, in a tech world, because people wanted to find solutions that are tech-enabled. But having worked in both the tech environment, but also consumer goods, and having now implemented Agile over 5 years, now in Safaricom and seeing the results, I believe every organization can benefit from Agile because it's about eliminating structure, eliminating silos, and creating oneness in terms of single focus on mission, but also just allowing individuals and empowering individuals to do what they need to do and bring to life that every day. So I don't think it's about Safaricom, but the other element about Agile is it requires bravery and courage. Therefore, which is all about, that's what business is about. It's about making brave decisions and courageous decisions. So by installing a ways of working that is more brave and courageous, I think organizations and leaders can achieve much more. And therefore, my strong advocacy for Agile will always be there, despite its challenges and despite all the heavy lifting that's required.
M-Pesa?
Vaseline is the one that I would say is the what is it called? Those brands that never age.
Yeah.
I would say that is the product I would say.
Yeah. M-Pesa for me made everybody an entrepreneur, whether they like it or not. Because if you have a payment platform, surely then you can even sell scrap, that's something you don't want, through the same platform, get paid and do something with it, and then you start having transactions. So, yeah.
I would introduce Agile. No. But Ben answered, then I'll answer. I think I was joking on that one.
First thing I'll do, I'll call Peter and say, okay, where you left, where do I go from here? Download everything that is remaining, and I'll take up. I will not change the course. In short, I will work on the ground of trusted leadership that has been there because we've seen the results, and then continue driving what works. Yeah. There may be things that I will change because after many years of being in FMCG, there will always be something new that you will see and do that. But I don't think it will be very, very significant departure. Yeah.
Yeah. If I swapped role with Ben, I always do a couple of things when I'm doing transition, which is always find out about the role. So I would, of course, speak to Ben and speak to people in Unilever about the industry, but also Unilever itself. But I think one thing that would be would be more straightforward for me is because I've spent time in consumer goods, so I think I've experienced. I know one or two ideas. I have a clear view about the success factors in consumer goods, but I will never take for granted when I'm going to a new organization. First of all, is to learn from what is working. Second is to learn from the leaders that are there, Ben of course included, and then third, also take what I have learned from the technology world, especially in Safaricom, and infuse with what I find. And for me, leadership is about making sure that you bring the intention of the organization to life in a way that works for society, but also for customers in that particular industry.